high yield has snapped back over the past 2 weeks. Here to talk about whether or not it can keep its strides is Fred Eckert. He's from Phoenix Star Capital. Welcome, Fred.
Thank you.
Well, it's good to have you here. Now, high yield really sold off when rates spiked. You saw the JNK, which is the ETF that tracks high yield, really get hit. It's come back. Can it continue to climb higher?
Well, I think that it probably can, but I think what you're going to see now is that the high yield market is its own market. It doesn't follow treasuries as closely as some people think. And I was very encouraged by the employment numbers because I think that shows that the economy has got some legs to it, which is very good for the high yield market.
So does that mean you're going to see lower defaults? You won't see a spike in the default rate? Where do you see the default rate going by the end of the year, for example?
Oh, I don't think it'll get much worse than now. 3%.
That's not bad at all.
No, I don't. Well, I don't see. I think the companies that had those problems have gone through it. And I think you may see now a combination of contraction of bank lending, a feeling that the economy is getting better, and a lot of new high yield issuance for better quality companies.
All right. Are those new high yield bonds that are being issued now going to be wrapped up into CLOs just like they were significantly before the financial crisis? Where is the securitization market right now? Because this is something that you watch closely.
Well, it is. I've been involved in it a lot. There's two segments to it. The CLO market is bank loans, and the CDO market was junk bonds, high yield bonds. As you probably know, last year it was a record. It surpassed 2006 before the crash by more than 50%, and it appears that this year will be substantially higher. And I think the outlook for continuing that is very robust.
Is there a sector in particular that you're watching?
No, I don't think.
It's just across the board?
I think the diversification of credit type is the way to play this.
All right. You also take part in a lot of special situations.
I do.
One thing that you're watching right now is the bankruptcy code in Britain. Can you tell me what you're doing over there?
Well, we're not doing anything yet, but we're going to soon. Britain has decided to adopt the U.S. approach to bankruptcy. Up until now, in Britain, it was the classic 18th century model. You didn't have debtors' prisons, but guys got around the table and worked it out. The high yield market changed all that. And they realize now that the concept of restructuring a company as a going concern is a good idea. Well, I agree with that, but it also creates enormous opportunities for people like us. I've had a long experience in investing in bankruptcies.
All right, and you're also watching problems back here in the States at the state level. Now, Meredith Whitney came out with her famous call a few years ago, and Muni sold off. They really came back. She was, to a certain extent, discredited, but now we're seeing that she might have been right in a lot of cases. What are you doing about that?
Well, I thought she was right all along. And I think that when it becomes interesting as an investment, as I'm sure you know, there's two kinds of municipal bonds: general obligation bonds and project bonds. Historically, they've traded on top of each other, with most people having some preference for the project because they thought there was, for the straight obligation, because they thought that was like a treasury. Well, what you're seeing now is, and what you're going to see a lot going forward in my view, is the project bonds will be much more valuable because the cities themselves, credit ratings have dropped. So you'll be able to set up arbitrages where you're taking the same city and you're long the projects and you're short the city obligations. So I think that's going to happen big.
So you're long a toll road and short Detroit? Is that the way
exactly.
it would work?
That's well said.
Okay, thanks a lot, Fred.
Nice to see you.
Thank you for watching The Street.